Lesson: Drafting Clauses, a Practical Guide. Drafting effective clauses in contracts is both an art and a science, a critical skill that requires a deep understanding of legal principles, creativity, and meticulous attention to detail. Drafting clauses that are clear, concise, and enforceable is essential for avoiding disputes and ensuring that the contract serves its intended purpose. This lesson will delve into the practical techniques and strategies necessary for drafting robust contract clauses, providing actionable insights and frameworks that professionals can apply directly to their work. The first step in drafting any contract clause is to understand the purpose of the clause and the objectives of the parties involved. This involves a comprehensive analysis of the contractual context and the specific needs and expectations of the parties. For instance, a confidentiality clause in a non-disclosure agreement will vary significantly from that in an employment contract. The drafter needs to consider the scope of confidentiality required, the duration of the obligation, and the consequences of a breach. A well-drafted clause will clearly define these elements, reducing ambiguity and potential disputes. Once the purpose of the clause is clear, the next step is to ensure precision in language. Ambiguity in contract language can lead to differing interpretations, which may result in costly legal disputes. Legal drafters often use the plain language approach to ensure that the contract is understandable to all parties involved, including those who may not have legal expertise. This approach involves avoiding legalese, using short sentences, and employing active voice rather than passive voice. For example, instead of writing, "Payment shall be made by the party of the second part within 30 days of receipt of invoice," a clearer version would be, "The buyer must pay within 30 days of receiving the invoice." A practical tool that drafters can use is the checklist method, which involves creating a detailed checklist of elements that must be included in each clause. This method helps ensure consistency and completeness, reducing the risk of omitting critical information. For example, when drafting a force majeure clause, the checklist might include identifying applicable events, determining notice requirements, and outlining the obligations of parties during such events. By systematically addressing each of these elements, drafters can craft comprehensive and effective clauses. In addition to using clear language, drafters must be mindful of the legal and regulatory framework governing the contract. This involves conducting thorough legal research to ensure compliance with relevant laws and regulations. For instance, when drafting a non-compete clause, it is essential to consider jurisdiction-specific laws that may limit the enforceability of such clauses. In the United States, for example, the enforceability of non-compete clauses varies significantly from state to state, with some states imposing strict limitations. Drafters must be aware of these variations and tailor the clause accordingly to ensure it is legally binding. Another important consideration is the inclusion of definitions to clarify key terms used in the contract. Definitions help prevent misunderstandings by providing a precise meaning for terms that could be interpreted in multiple ways. For example, in a technology licensing agreement, terms like software, license, and intellectual property should be clearly defined to ensure both parties have a mutual understanding of their obligations and rights. Case studies can provide valuable insights into the importance of precise and clear clause drafting. One notable example is the contract dispute between Rogers Communications and Bell Alliant in Canada, which hinged on the placement of a single comma. The dispute arose over the interpretation of a clause in their agreement, highlighting how even small drafting errors can have significant financial implications. This case underscores the importance of careful proofreading and review of contract language to avoid costly mistakes. In terms of practical frameworks, the draft, review, revise cycle is an effective approach for refining contract clauses. This process involves initially drafting the clause, reviewing it with a focus on clarity, precision, and legal compliance, and then revising it based on feedback from peers or legal advisors. This iterative process helps identify potential issues and refine the language to ensure the clause is robust and enforceable. Incorporating examples into the drafting process is another effective strategy. By examining well-drafted clauses from similar contracts, drafters can gain insights into best practices and common pitfalls to avoid. For instance, reviewing sample indemnity clauses from industry-standard contracts can provide a template for structuring similar clauses in new agreements. However, it is crucial to tailor these examples to the specific context of the contract to avoid generic or unsuitable language. Statistics on contract disputes further illustrate the importance of effective clause drafting. According to a survey by the International Association for Contract and Commercial Management, unclear or ambiguous contract terms are among the top causes of contract disputes, accounting for nearly 30% of all disputes reported. This statistic underscores the critical role that precise and clear drafting plays in minimizing disputes and fostering successful contractual relationships. In conclusion, drafting effective contract clauses requires a combination of legal knowledge, practical tools, and attention to detail. By understanding the purpose of each clause, using clear and precise language, and considering the legal framework, drafters can create clauses that are both enforceable and aligned with the parties' objectives. Utilizing practical tools, such as the checklist method and the draft review revise cycle, can enhance the drafting process and ensure consistency and accuracy. Learning from real-world examples and statistics further emphasizes the importance of meticulous drafting to avoid disputes and achieve successful contractual outcomes. As professionals continue to refine their drafting skills, they will be better equipped to address the challenges of contract law and contribute to the effective management of legal agreements.